Mickeymouse.
Before I send you guys off on your Memorial Day weekend, which, by the way, this Memorial Day weekend for me is going to be mostly working and getting things fixed on the channel. And, of course, my true Memorial Day weekend will come next weekend. Don't worry, I'll talk about that more in the second half of the video. I felt that I needed to go ahead and just kind of give you guys a brief explanation of why it is that when you say thank you for your service, remember that is for veterans who survived and are still active today. Memorial Day is the weekend where we actually honor those who have fallen, practically, those who actually died in service of our right to freedom of speech, our right to be able to carry a gun, our right to be able to own a gun. Basically, all the freedoms in this nation we owe to those who sacrificed for those freedoms. Now, with that right there being said, let me go ahead before I decide to break this down further and go ahead and let you guys know exactly how this video is going to go. I'm going to give you guys a bit of an explanation. I'm also going to reflect a little bit, and then the second half of the video, I'm also going to be posting some updates, which, by the way, this video right here will be going out on short timer this afternoon, which, by the way, just may get a name change here in the next couple of days. I'm not entirely sure, because we're going to move the short timer prepping moniker back to John Claymore, the videos anyways, because of how, I just put it this way here, I just applied for monetization. I had this very, very bad feeling that because I talk about so many topics that YouTube is probably not going to know what to make of it. We're going to be discussing that more in the second half of the video, but also something else too. This will be the final video that goes on both channels. This is, of course, going out today on Short Timer and on Saturday on John Claymore. And, of course, I've got a busy weekend of work to try to get some projects ready for the following weekend. And I've also got to correct the page, and I've got to get playlists and everything set up properly. With that right there being said, guys, let's go ahead and get it. What is Memorial Day exactly? Well, think about this right here. Some gave all. And what that means is that some men gave it all. They gave everything they had, and quite frankly, they died in the process. They died for your freedom. They died for your right to have a cookout. They died for your right to go to the beach. They died for your right to be here on YouTube. They died for your right to basically have a voice in this country. They died for your right to own a firearm. They simply died for you. Regardless of the manner that they may have died in combat, they obviously died in service of you. That is why Memorial Day exists, and it is designed to honor those who have fallen. Veterans Day, on the other hand, is designed to honor those who practically serve, those who just did their time in and were able to come home. Combat vets, regular vets, doesn't really matter. That is what that holiday is for. I want you guys to keep that in mind, where if you decide you want to tell somebody who's a veteran, thank you for your service this weekend, remember, we're not exactly honoring that portion. We're honoring those men and women who fell in service for you. I just want you guys to just kind of know that, because it's kind of a common misconception. Now, am I angry or anything? No, I'm not. I've gotten it several times before, and quite frankly, I've never had a problem with it. Of course, there have been a couple of times when somebody kind of said it in jest or passerby in a bit of a joking manner, which, of course, is kind of jacked up. I have no idea why you would do that. But the thing is this right here, a lot of people get it mixed up. And, of course, we live in a society where people are not properly or thoroughly educated on which holiday is and why that's the purpose. I mean, dude, I saw something on Liberty Hangout, I think about a month ago, where a bunch of people said they didn't even know what the 4th of July was over. Well, I'm going to go ahead and break that down for you. That is the day that we celebrate our independence. Fireworks, all that stuff there. Of course, we honor those who sacrificed, who gave them the leadership over time that actually preserve the independence of this nation, the independence that, quite frankly, we are losing on a daily basis. Every time we turn around, we're always hearing some form of censorship and all kinds of stuff. That there is what the 4th of July is over. Flag Day is obviously a day to remember the American flag. But Veterans Day is obviously the day to honor those who serve, where it is that Memorial Day is to honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice in defense of this nation. So bear that in mind this weekend before you go to the cookout or before you start grilling or before you hit the beach. Just bear that in mind. With that right there being said, guys, let's go ahead and get to these channel updates. Of course, some of these updates are also going to improve, how do I say this? They're also going to improve a little bit more about this project that I'm working on that should be out next week on Dakota Meyer. With that there being said, let's go ahead and cross into those. This weekend, after this video and this second video that drops on Claymore comes out, what's going to probably happen is this here. I know that most of you are going to be doing something this weekend, so I already know that I don't want to bother you guys with any type of post. Just enjoy your weekend or whatnot. Of course, this video is coming out today, and of course, it'll be on Claymore tomorrow, but I want you guys to just kind of sit back and relax and enjoy the weekend. Me, as I've said in the past few videos that I've done on Claymore and here, my Memorial Day weekend is not really this weekend. It's going to be the following weekend. I'm going to be out of town for a few days. And I'm going to have a few videos posted here on short timer prepping and on John Claymore. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why in the world are you going with another name change? Well, here's the reason why. I don't think short timer prepping really and truly fits the theme of this channel, and not to mention it's kind of hard to find the search. I'm thinking about renaming this channel Solid as the Patriot, or possibly bringing back Gear Issue 33. Both of those get, let's just say that both of those will show up in the algorithm a lot sooner. Typically what tends to happen is that you get lumped into a bunch of other channels, and the less amount of subscribers that you have, what ends up happening is that you just get tossed to the bottom of the pile. Don't worry though, short timer prepping will still exist. It'll just be a part of a playlist on my main channel, John Claymore. On the Claymore channel, I've been covering a lot of topics that include stuff like, say, what's been going on in the cities with immigration and crime, and I'm constantly thinking to myself, doesn't that kind of fit more the short timer prepping moniker, especially given the fact that I was mostly talking about wokeness and film and stuff? Well, I'm also going through a bit of a change and a bit of adjustment on the content over on short timer on John Claymore. What I wanted to do was start focusing on the wokeness and the Marxist themes that they've been kind of throwing at us and how best to fight back on. Of course, this where it includes pop culture, this where it includes sports, and this also includes what you're seeing when it comes to crime and immigration and all that stuff there. And a general, every now and again, political video that kind of focuses in on the actual shape of what's going on in the country. What I would like to do is make this channel here primarily mostly video essays where I talk about mostly military movies, veterans, characters, scenarios like I originally wanted to do. However, at the same exact time, we're not even fully there exactly on how we're going to do that. So just know that this first video that you see here soon that I'm going to have out probably on Tuesday or Wednesday about Dakota Meyer, which, by the way, is not going to be a scathing piece. I mean, I'm going to post the previous video that I did on him in the description box. And, of course, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about Tim Kennedy, all that type of stuff there. But one of the main reasons why I'm going with Solid as the Patriot has got a lot to do with, certain things that could happen as far as much more in the video essay form, certain types of studies, things that quite frankly have been going on in the country that have been going on for a while John Claymore is a little bit more current. However, I do want to do more video essays over there, but I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that. The whole goal of the John Claymore channel itself, the whole goal of the whole network was to kind of create a network of channels so that way you guys could kind of choose between which ones you would go to. I know that everybody who's subscribed to YouTube channels here on this platform is subscribed to multiple channels, but the truth be told is, like I always tell people, I got into this mostly because I was for the most part was bored, but I started to enjoy it. So I talked about sports and I talked about politics and stuff, and then I realized that YouTube, for whatever reason, just continued to stymie the channel. Well, at the time, I didn't have the computer. I didn't have the capacity to make video essays and stuff until I bought that MacBook Air over there, only to find out that I was basically sold a lemon. And, of course, I haven't had the money to kind of go buy brand new technology. However, I have gotten around that. The idea was to have pretty much a current events channel, something that's like more military related, especially as far as military history, which is really what I'm considering as far as like military movies, stuff like that there. And then, of course, have one that's like a character analysis channel, which would be like channel 3, and then a pure sports stories channel being channel 4. And that's probably where I'm looking to go at, especially given the fact that YouTube is cracking down on just about anybody and everybody. Now, granted, it looks like I'm in the monetization process right now for John Claymore, but still at the same time, though, you need to be able to grow your channel, and you can't do that if they continue to censor it. So what I'm going to be doing is trying to find a brand new way of trying to come across. I've been taking a lot of notes. I've been putting a lot of things in action. Hell, I've even done a few videos on this. But before I close this video, and I want you guys to know this right here for Claymore, there are certain topics. I told one of the subscribers, like I said, I never let people know who the subscribers are, security purposes. I mentioned to one of my subscribers that what to expect on the Claymore channel is eventually video essays, stuff like, say, for example, seeing how Metal Gear Solid is getting a bit of a re-release. Questions like, was Kojima prophetic? For example, Metal Gear Solid 2, the AI conversation, stuff like that there. Were they telling us about this digital censorship and stuff? Was that actually already playing out before? It's mostly look backs and bring it to the forefront. Whereas on short timer prepping / Gear Issue 33 / possibly Solid's the Patriot, not entirely sure, the idea is to look back at certain military scenarios and certain things, and of course veteran-related stories, war stories practically. And of course there's even going to be a video coming out on red flag laws and gun confiscation, a much more comprehensive look. that video will probably be the video that gets released next weekend while I'm out of town on short time of prepping. But I'll update you guys as we go on that one there. But I just figured I'd just kind of throw this out here before you guys take off for the weekend. So once again, guys, make sure you guys, if you guys want to, make sure you guys hit that like button. If I've earned your subscription, please subscribe. Please check out both channels. I'll leave links to both. And, of course, I'll keep you guys updated over the next few weeks of what's actually going on. I typically don't do live streams because if I do live streams, you're probably going to, let's just say that I have a tendency to let certain words fly, certain words that are not good for the algorithm. And that's really the main reason why it is I don't really do live streams. Also, I already tried twice, and they did not go very well in the early going. Make sure you guys also hit the notifications bell in the case, so that way the video will take off. I just wanted to give you guys a brief video before you guys take off on the weekend, and I'll see you guys later.